Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. Happy New Year. I know I've missed an absolute ton of stuff to talk about. I actually took a proper holiday, as in I left Bali for the first time in I don't remember how long, and I took a holiday to a place called Gili, had a great New Year's party, been chilling here ever since. So I took like an official holiday. I said to myself, no, you're not going to look at Chelsea news, you're not going to try and cover anything on GBFC, you're going to take proper time off. And then Romelu Lukaku decides that he don't want to play for Chelsea anymore, he wants to disrespect the club. We've got a football match here to talk about today for 6 things that we learned from Chelsea 2, Liverpool 2. It is my post-match reaction series where we've got blue box for the main man, the star man. We've got green for good, yellow for things that aren't quite the fault of the individual in question but could improve, and red are bad. However, despite Chelsea drawing once again at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League, dropping points in the title race, yesterday I think resembled so much more than any amount of points or any title race could ever resemble for how we see Chelsea Football Club moving forward. What we've seen over the years with player power, with big name players coming in, complaining, kicking up a fuss, seeing managers just be thrown under the bus by the club, under the bus by fans, by players. And I think that what we saw yesterday is almost revolutionary for Chelsea. The fact that Thomas Tuchel, the manager who comes in, wins the Champions League, has, some would say, the audacity to drop a £97.5 million striker that we've spent so much money on to send us to the title. The statement that was made by Tuchel from totally omitting Romelu Lukaku from the squad, I think sets a huge precedence to what the club are trying to achieve in more of a long-term vision. So before we get into any of the actual football yesterday, I wanted to touch base on this whole thing first because I think Lukaku was out of order. I don't care when the interview was. I don't care what kind of translations may have been missed. It is absolutely unnegotiable for me that any kind of negativity pointing towards Chelsea Football Club from Lukaku for an interview that has not been agreed from the club. Listen, I follow some of the players. They follow me. I've asked them in the past to come on GBFC. They can't do it as much as they'd want to or not because the club need to give permission in order for them to conduct these kind of things. So I know exactly how this works. Lukaku has done that, totally behind the club's back. Whether his intentions, which of course in life it's always the most important thing, what does someone actually mean? Maybe Lukaku's intentions were to simply express his love and his sadness potentially at the way he exited Inter Milan, because we know it was a bit of a mess over there. Either way, his English is perfectly good enough to be able to construct this in a much better manner than he did. So I'm not sticking up for Lukaku whatsoever here. I just had to address the potential devil's advocate that his intentions actually had nothing to do with the way that it's been construed. But for me, at this moment in time, I don't see how Lukaku can play for Chelsea again, because at this moment, all we have to go for is the translated interview. And from what we've seen, I don't like any of it. So if that's the case, mate, you can go. We don't have anybody at this club who is bigger than the badge. And at this moment in time, there is nobody at this club, player personnel, bigger than the manager who came in and absolutely sorted our season and won us the Champions League. So, without any further ado, let's talk a bit about the game, shall we? Chelsea 2, Liverpool 2. One of the most thrilling games of football I've witnessed in many years. It was so exciting from the first 5 seconds all the way through to the very end. But the moment that stood out above anything else for me was the best goal I've seen at Stamford Bridge. Not that I was there, I was watching it in bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, but one of the best goals we have seen at Stamford Bridge in quite some time was scored by the Croatian man Mateo Kovacic. It is an absolutely stunning goal. And I think for me, the thing that I loved the most about this finish was that he's totally off balance when he's hitting it. He has no idea the ball's coming to him. He's leaning back and then he just absolutely leathers it with his laces, hits the post, goes in the corner of the other side. Keller has got absolutely no chance for Liverpool. It was a stunning goal from Mateo Kovacic, but it wasn't just the goal that warranted Mateo Kovacic getting a green box. I should have really given him a blue, but I've already given it as a green now, and I've already made the graphics for the video. So, Kovacic's all-round game. He was absolutely impossible to pass, intercepted everything in the middle that Liverpool threw at him, And I just absolutely love, I say this all the time, the tenacity of Mateo Kovacic. I think if Conor Gallagher is to come back to Chelsea next season, which I do believe he will learn so much from Mateo Kovacic, because Gallagher's a very tenacious player already. But Mateo Kovacic is one of the best I've seen at being able to negotiate himself out of incredibly tough situations in really pressure point moments for Chelsea in the midfield. And I think overall, with the balance of play, I think we did control the midfield yesterday and we did deserve to win. I'm not going to sit here for too long talking about Anthony Taylor and how Sadio Mane should have been sent off in the first 20 bloody seconds of the game. If it's any other minute or it's any other ref, he's gone. I'm sick of seeing Anthony Taylor referee Chelsea games. Sadio Mane, if he's not on the pitch, he can't score that goal. Chelsea playing against 10 men for 90 minutes. Chelsea win that game with the way that we came out yesterday and gave everything in the middle, at the back, going forward too. Yes, there were some mistakes, but Kovacic, I think, was the best player on the pitch. But somebody who I actually believe was just as good was N'Golo Kante. Mateo Kovacic will rightly get the plaudits from this game in Chelsea's midfield because of that absolute wonder goal that he scored. But N'Golo Kante yesterday, one of his best Chelsea performances again. He loves a game against Liverpool, does N'Golo Kante. He was absolutely everywhere, ripping through the Liverpool midfield, taking players on, dropping shoulders, feinting left, feinting right. He was unplayable at times yesterday, N'Golo Kante. Chelsea was so unlucky not to win this game. And I think that we've really got to think about this. You know, we can complain about our big money striker coming and really embarrassing us. But when Jorginho, Kante and Kovacic are all on song, we are so blessed to have three of the best midfielders in Europe at our football club, let alone a Kai Havertz, a Mason Mount, a Ziyech, other quality players to come through. Kante yesterday, absolutely superb. We move into box number 3, and it is Edouard Mendy. 2 phenomenal saves in that second half, particularly from Mo Salah from outside the box when Mendy was kind of off his line. It's a wonderful effort from one who many would argue is the best player in the world right now, Mo Salah. The other one from Sadio Mane too. Mendy saved us at times yesterday in a game that if it would have finished 5-5, no one would have batted an eyelid. No one would have questioned it because there were that many great chances. There were that many great moments on show, and Mendy was forced to make some outrageously good saves to keep us involved despite whatever we might have been thinking about. They should have had 10 men. Mane's goal shouldn't have stood. Whatever we may think, you can only do in a game of football what is put in front of you. And we had to play against 11 players. And Mendy saved us on multiple occasions. We move into box number 4. And I've given a yellow for Trevor Chalobah. And I wanted to give it a green. But it was the first time yesterday, all season, that I've seen him make an individual error, a mistake, that led to a goal. I don't know why he's down on the floor diving header in that one for Liverpool to go ahead and score. I don't know what he was thinking. It was a moment of madness, but I'm not going to sit here and be upset that we conceded that goal, which inevitably meant we didn't get 3 points. Because everybody rectified whatever individual mistake they might have made when we were 2-0 down after 40 minutes, looking like we were going to get blown away. Every time Liverpool went forward, they looked like they were going to score. Trevor Chalobah redeemed himself. He was brilliant in the second half, did not put a foot wrong. I wanted to make it a green, but then I thought in perspective of the whole season, it was an individual error. We did concede, but I'm not concerned about putting Trev back into the team for the next game against Spurs because he was brilliant in that second half. Calm, collected, and totally rectified the mistake. We move into box number 5. Christian Pulisic starting on the left wing in a big game, and he scores a massive goal. The work rate from Tony Rudiger to get it to Kante, lovely ball from Kante. Pulisic holds his run, and it's a beautiful finish in a very highly pressured moment, again, to put Chelsea level. I thought Pulisic yesterday was very good. I think he was a lot more direct. I thought for the first 40 minutes until the goal, he was having a bit of a stinker. But when he scored, you could see what it meant to him. He's come under a bit of scrutiny. He's come under a lot of stick. But that goal absolutely set Stamford Bridge on fire. And I thought in the second half he did a good job too. Gets put back in the right wing back position, which I do feel sorry for him because that's not his role whatsoever. And then he came unstuck. But I think that goal could be a very big moment in Christian Pulisic's season. We finish with a green all round for Thomas Tuchel. My voice is starting to go. It's been a crazy few days here on this island, I'm not going to lie to you. The way that Thomas Tuchel handled everything yesterday I think was absolutely the right decision. I don't think Lukaku should have been in the squad whatsoever. He wasn't. Tuchel omits him. And then every single player on that pitch yesterday was fighting for our manager, which to me, I'm absolutely delighted about it. There were rumours that there were a few players in the squad who might have been upset. I've got a feeling we didn't see them play yesterday. And I don't want to add any fuel to this fire already because there is a conversation being had today between Tuchel and Lukaku. So after that, I'll give my updated thoughts on the situation. And I guess we'll find out if Lukaku's going to play for Chelsea again. But anyway, incredible football game. Even though we didn't win, I'm buzzing with that. Chelsea gave everything out there. Roll on, 3 matches in 3 weeks against Tottenham. That's all I'm going to say. Come on, you Blues.